Wolverine isn't dangerous because he can't die. He's dangerous because he remembers everything. Every wound, every death, every person he couldn't save. His body heals from the pain, but his mind never does. And that changes a man. For most of his life, Logan has lived inside a contradiction his body is almost impossible to destroy. But psychologically, he carries the weight of everything that happened to him. And that's what makes his healing factor more tragic than powerful. Every injury disappears from his skin, but the memory stays inside his mind. Every battle, every betrayal, every person he loses becomes another piece of his past that he can't escape. And when you've lived for decades, carrying memories that most people would spend a lifetime trying to forget, eventually survival stops feeling like a gift and starts feeling like a punishment. That's why Logan constantly creates distance between himself and everyone around him. He doesn't simply prefer being alone. He's protecting himself from attachment, because attachment creates something he can't control, the possibility of loss. And Wolverine has experienced enough loss to understand exactly how painful it can be. So he builds a personality around isolation, anger, and aggression, because those things make people stay away. And if nobody gets close, nobody can hurt him. But underneath that aggressive exterior is someone who desperately wants connection. And that's the contradiction that defines him. The man who acts like he needs nobody is often the man who needs someone. His anger is also far more psychological than it appears. Logan doesn't just explode because he's naturally violent. His aggression often becomes a defense mechanism when he feels threatened. Emotionally, he turns the situation physical, because fighting is something he understands. Vulnerability isn't when you're a weapon. For long enough, you start believing that violence is the only language you're capable of speaking. And Logan spends years reinforcing that belief, because it's easier to call yourself a monster than to confront the possibility that you could have been something else. But every time he protects someone, shows compassion, or chooses not to kill, that identity becomes harder to maintain. Because beneath the claws, Wolverine has always been fighting against the idea that he's nothing more than an animal. And that's where his relationship with his own identity becomes so important. Logan has spent much of his life trying to understand who he actually is, because his memories are fragmented. His past has been manipulated, and people have used him as a weapon. But even when he doesn't remember everything, he remembers enough to know that he has done things he regrets, and that creates something close to survivor's guilt. He doesn't believe he deserves peace, because peace would mean accepting that he can move forward from the things he's done. So instead, he keeps moving, keeps fighting, keeps putting himself in danger, almost as if punishment has become part of his identity. And the strange thing is that Wolverine rarely fights because he believes he'll win. Sometimes he fights because he believes he deserves to be the one who takes the hit. But eventually Logan discovers something that changes the meaning of his entire existence. His life isn't valuable because he can survive anything. It's valuable because he can choose what he's willing to survive for. The claws never disappear. The anger never completely disappears. And the memories never stop hurting. But he finally understands that being broken doesn't mean being useless. And maybe that's why Wolverine has remained so powerful as a character. Because beneath the violence, beneath the rage, beneath the animalistic persona, is a man who spent his entire life believing he was a monster. And maybe that's the cruelest part of Wolverine's story. Logan will always carry his scars, and after everything he's lost, everything he's done, and everything he survived, the most human thing Wolverine ever learned was not how to heal from his wounds, but how to keep caring, even when he knew it would hurt again.